Welcome back. Now, BHP Billiton this evening making a formal bid for the rival mining company Rio Tinto. The offer worth $147.5 billion. It's a 45% premium to Rio Tinto's closing price today. For more perspective, we're joined now on the telephone by Chip Hanlon. He is the president of Delta Global Advisors. Chip Hanlon, welcome, and tell me, you own the shares of Rio Tinto as well as BHP Billiton. Do you like this new bid for Rio Tinto, $147.5 billion? Is this going to make the board of Rio Tinto agree?
This might do it. I mean, I think we weren't alone in suspecting that an increased takeover offer might come. But, boy, this one's pretty darn healthy. So it could indeed make the deal go through.
Okay. And do you think that if there's another suitor out there, what kind of time frame do you expect the board of Rio Tinto to tip their hand?
Well, I think that's a little bit early at this point. It's tough to say, and we haven't really gotten any indication in this short amount of time since this raised offer. However, we do suspect that this one will be taken much more seriously, and that anyone else, should they wish to get in the game, they're going to have to get in the game soon.
What about the recent stake that's held by Alcoa as well as Chinalco, the aluminum corp of China? How does that play into this, do you think?
Well, I think that might have had a lot to do with why BHP took this action now. Certainly there was, look, it's an asset that outsiders were willing to compete for, and so I think this is just another piece of evidence that BHP is dead serious about trying to make this happen, and they'd like to get it done in the near term. This is quite a premium.
Chip, do you think that the Chinese, in the guise of the aluminum corp of China, could come in? They've got the access to the capital, and if this deal goes through, we're talking about a company that's going to control the majority of about at least a third of all the iron ore and coal production in the world.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface, I don't think that is something the Chinese really have to worry about that. I mean, whether they're going to be able to source their metal. But, it's easy to say that as an outsider. If you're the Chinese looking at this, it's hypothetically a big concern and one that you may not want to lose control over. So could they, if they wanted to compete, do they have the capital to do so? Certainly they do. Again, they're going to have to do it in the near term, though, because this is an offer that's the Rio Tinto board is going to have to take quite seriously.
Okay. Well, Chip, let me just mention to you, Chip Hanlon, president of Delta Global Advisors, that Rio Tinto's board is advising all of its shareholders to take no action until the board makes its decision on this bid by BHP Billiton. Thank you very much, Chip Hanlon, the president of Delta Global Advisors. Appreciate you being on. And now, just to recap this news, BHP Billiton, the formal bid for Rio Tinto, the offer, $147.5 billion. A 45% premium to the closing price. You can see this right now. Rio Tinto shares up $18.55 in after-hours trading. Just a programming note, you can catch the results of the presidential primaries on our Business and the Ballot program. That begins at 8 p.m. Up next, Bloomberg's Evening Edition. Bob Iger, Disney CEO. We'll see you tomorrow.